Good morning. This is my first time trying to record a video, so hopefully it works. Today we are going to read The Berenstain Bears and The Week at Grandma's. Once in a while, the Bear family, who lived in the big tree house in Bear Country, got out the family photographs and looked at them. "What are these?" asked Sister Bear, picking up a book of photos. "I don't think I've seen these before." There were pictures of bears playing tennis, canoeing, dancing, and having all sorts of fun. The bears looked like Mama and Papa, only they were much younger. "They're pictures of Papa and me on our honeymoon," said Mama with a smile. "At Grizzly Mountain Lodge," said Papa. "What a wonderful time." "What's a honeymoon?" asked Brother. "A honeymoon is a special trip that couples take after they get married," explained Mama. "As a matter of fact," said Papa, "we have decided to go on a second honeymoon. We are going back to the same place, and we will play tennis and go canoeing and have so much fun." "A second honeymoon sounds like a pretty good idea to me," said Brother. "Me too," said Sister, and they ran off to their room to pack up their things. "Oh, you won't be coming with," said Papa. "Honeymoons are just for grown-ups, not for cubs." "But where are we going?" asked Sister. "It just so happens," said Mama, "that Gran and Gramps would love to spend a weekend with you." "We've never stayed with anyone that long," said Sister. "Well," said Papa, "there's a first time for everything." "What are we going to do for a whole week?" asked the cubs. "Where will we sleep? What will we eat?" "Oh, goodness," said Mama. "Such a fuss about simple things, like spending a week at Grandma's." Brother and Sister loved Gramps and Gran, but they weren't Mama and Papa. Besides, Gramps and Gran were kind of old. "What are you taking with you?" Sister asked Brother. "I'm taking 2 books, my jacks, and my teddy." "These," he said, holding up some books in his best yo-yo. Papa put their suitcases in the car trunk last, so when they got to Gran's, they could unload it easy. Then they drove away. After lots of hugs and kisses, the second honeymooners left Brother and Sister at Gramps and Gran's. "I'm sure you're hungry after a long ride," said Gran when they went in. "How about some cookies and milk?" "No, thanks, Gran," said Sister. "I'm not hungry right now." "Hey, these are really good," said Brother. Sister decided to take a bite. They were good, but they weren't the same as Mama's. "Now let's get you up to your room so you can get unpacked," said Gramps. The cubs reached for their bags, but before you could say Grizzly Gramps, they were gathered up, bags and all, and carried up the stairs. Gramps was strong for someone who was so old. The room at the top of the stairs was very nice, but it wasn't the same as home. "Gramps," said Sister, "where do you suppose Mama and Papa are right now?" "Well," said Gramps, I think they're probably on the road, just pulling into the Grizzly Mountain Lodge. After brother and sister unpacked things, Gramps thought the cubs might like to look around the house. Well, it wasn't home, but it was interesting, thought brother and sister. The attic was crowded with all sorts of interesting things. Gran's kitchen had yummy tastes and smells, and Gramps' den, he knew how to build a ship inside a bottle. When the cubs asked him how he did it, he just smiled. What do you think Mama and Papa are doing now? Brother and sister asked. I think they've gotten their tennis clothes and they're swatting the ball back and forth, he said. Over the next few days, brother and sister found lots of things to do. They helped Gran feed the birds, and they helped Gramps cut smooth twigs for a new ship inside of a bottle. It turns out that he built them outside the bottle, then slid them in. It was pretty tricky. They went fishing in a special place that Gramps knew about. Well, said Gramps as they returned, I bet your mama and papa are out canoeing right now, too. I hope they're having fun, said Sister, because we sure are. Better get these chairs in, said Gramps after a fine fish fry. It's going to rain tomorrow. How do you know it's going to rain? Asked Brother. I can feel it in my bones, answered Gramps. It turned out Gramps was right. It did rain. Good, said Brother. We'll be able to relax a little. Sister got out her jacks, and Brother started playing with his yo-yo. I used to be pretty good with one of those, said Gramps. And was he ever! He could do all sorts of tricks with the yo-yo. That evening, after a refreshing nap, they all went to Gramps and Gran's regular Friday night dance party. Gramps and Grans just didn't watch. They danced and they even won a prize. Goodness, said Sister, this week flew by. And we learned so much, said Brother. Gramps and Gran, how come you know so many things? Asked Sister. That's one of the good things about being an older person, said Gramps. You learn something every day, so that by the time you're old enough to be a grandparent, you know quite a lot. Gee, said Sister, I guess you and Gran are so old you must know everything. Oh no, said Gramps, laughing. You never stop learning. Gramps and Gran swept their grandcubs up for a big hug, and the next thing they knew, they heard beep beep. It was Papa tooting the horn on the car. He and Mama had come back from their second honeymoon, and it was time to go home. After saying goodbye and thank you, the Bear family piled into the car and headed home. Well, said Papa, it sounds like you had a pretty good time. We did, said Sister. Papa, sometime you might want to go on a third honeymoon. Then we could spend another week at Gramps and Gran's. A third honeymoon, said Papa. I don't think anyone's ever gone on a third honeymoon. Well, said Sister, there has to be a first time for everything. The end.